You wake up. You notice that the cave itself is a little bit brighter than it ever has been, and you notice that the gate door is open.
Shit. What you do, man?
Yeah, it is almost like for 10 days, you've kind of adjusted to the light of this whole area. This looks almost like a light at maybe like dusk or dawn. It's dim, but a lot brighter than what it has been. And the cage door to your facility is open. You do notice though that, well, I guess you never would have seen who stayed inside the room with you or not, but you're by yourself and the gate's wide open. Your eyes kind of focus in, absorb the light. Everything seems peaceful, I guess, but odd.
I guess I go and examine why the door is open.
All right, so you walk up towards the door or the gate. It's hinged. To one side, you see like up here around this like a bridge going up. You have noticed, for the most part, the Quaggoth normally a lot of times will come from there and go up to here. You've never been up there, but just looking outside the cage bars, you know that the Quaggoth, a lot of them come from this vicinity towards this direction. This is where the toilet is. Yeah. You know that the people who imprisoned you, the Dark Elves, come from that direction. And there is one dead Dark Elf laying here, motionless, and there is a dead Quaggoth laying there, motionless.
What did you do?
I'm just a cat, man. What you want to do, man?
Do whatever you want to do, Matt.
Search their bodies.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you start searching. They're basically the same garb they're in. The Quaggoth don't really walk around with much. Their natural abilities, basically, they have big claws. The Drow, however, they're in leather armor. The one that's beside you has a keychain with a bunch of keys on it. A little short sword. A small handheld crossbow with some crossbow bolts, and a pouch. You kind of jingle a little bit. There seems to be some type of money in it, or some type of gems or something. But he's totally dead. His eyes are rolled back in his head. There's no blood, but he's not moving at all. He's just, best way to explain it is lifeless.
Grab it all, man. Take it.
All right.
And then write down what you took.
So you can use it.
So if he equips his leather armor, he gets...
Well, he's going to take off the leather armor. It takes like 15 minutes. Like, I'll actually find the rule. It's in here somewhere.
I don't want to be long. I just want to take what I can get and go.
So you're not going to take the armor?
If I can withstand a couple shots in the chest, I'm sure I'll be alright after that. I don't know.
However you want to play it, Matt.
I'm just going to take the weapons and go and try to...
So you take the weapons.
At this point, spells are allowed at this point?
As you exit out, and it's not as soon as you exit out the cage doors, but it's about at the rim, right outside the cage doors, your little halo starts to glow a lot brighter.
Okay.
Like it's just like it was on dim, and then it came on. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like there's more light around your vicinity because it shines pretty brightly.
It takes 2 minutes to put on and take it on and off.
You don't see any other motion anywhere, like inside, at least as I guess you're standing here kind of checking this guy out. You don't see any motion up here, and you don't really hear or see any motion out of your peripheral vision that way.
What's this way? What's that?
You have no idea.
That was the area you thought the Quaggoth.
Yeah, the Quaggoth went to.
Okay, so I don't know what's over there yet.
No, you just know that as you've been in that whole dungeon for 10 days, that the Quaggoth, there's a lot of Quaggoths moseying back and forth past there, up to there. You know that the Quaggoths aren't necessarily as mean and as hateful as the other people that have imprisoned you. They're, what you can kind of tell, is just workers.
Worm?
Fire dude.
I'm gonna, I guess, start walking that way
This
very slowly. Yeah, 'cause I don't know what's over there.
Okay. As you start walking across the bridge, you see like another drow kind of hunched over the side of the bridge, kind of just dangling there. There's one on one left-hand side. There's other on the right-hand side. There just seems to be, and they're not moving. You don't see any blood. All their possessions are intact, but oddly, he looks pretty much just like the other one you just saw, like physical features and everything, just like the one you just saw.
I think you're hallucinating, bro. I think the poison done got to your brain.
Well, if he's bent down over, not.
Yeah, he's like there's like a rope bridge, so he's just like waist part of his upper torso is over the side of the bridge, his lower torso maybe like a foot's tangled up in the rope, one's hanging over, the other one's hanging over like backwards. I mean, they're just take a little bit of strength to push them all the way over if you wanted to.
I'm
I
gonna.
forgot Dakota's character was here the whole time.
Oh
He was here the whole time.
yeah.
There's a cat
Yeah.
person who's
There's a cat.
very, very quiet.
There's a cat person with his jaws broken.
Yeah.
So he has really said much of anything to anyone at all. So
He hasn't missed anything that'll develop his character sheet. So.
yeah, he's just basically he's seen a dude with a halo bully another guy. Well,
He just kept jerking off the whole time.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
he was in the back. Yeah, exactly. He was in the back of the thing, smacking Pud. And anyways, Matt, back to your
Sorry.
to what's going on in your life. So
I'm gonna. Well, I have a crossbow, right? Yeah.
yes, you got the crossbow.
I'm gonna attempt to shoot the one bending over and putting him out of his miseries.
All right, you shoot him. It goes into him. There's no like flinch or anything. It's like a dull, like straight into him. Oddly, no blood comes out.
I'm gonna walk closer to him.
All right. As you walk closer to him, you see kind of. All right, so you're walking towards this door. So this dude's kind of hanging over a little bit. So there's a guy that's hanging over here. There's a guy hanging up towards. You see this person kind of materialize at the top of the towards the top of the stalactite door. Their back's facing you, but they have a little. It's a black crown over their head. Like you have a little gold glowing crown. So there's a black crown over their head, and they're facing towards the door. And they just kind of like, you shot the dude, you walked to push it over, and just out of like the side view, you saw this person. It might have been there before, you don't know, just kind of standing there. And they're not facing you at all. They're just kind of motionless.
It's too bad you fired your crossbow bolt.
Yeah. You still gonna throw this guy over?
I still got a rock though.
No. Well, the rock ain't with you.
I'm gonna I guess look around to see what else is over there to be able to knock me inside the head.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna go down.
Well, I mean, you pulled it. You got the sword from
yeah,
the.
I'll
All
put the sword.
All right, so you start drawing the sword out. So this figure kind of turns around, and you notice it as yourself, but the pupils are just totally dark black. The halo, the halo is black, and they kind of grin at you with like this black charcoal teeth with like black saliva like coming down their chin. And then out of the side of the bridge, this black just shadow just comes up and like and kind of like expands itself. And you see like these big bat wings kind of erupt over its side, and it just eclipses the light, the unnatural light that you were witnessing before, kind of drowns out.
Before I do anything drastic, I guess I'll ask him who he is.
I am you, and you are me, and our fates are intertwined. So then the big shadow beside you roars even louder, and like you feel just, I don't know, like terror inside your body. So, cutscene. So you wake up.
It's about time I see it's over.
Yeah. All right. So you wake up.
I'm gonna move it back.
Sure.
I'll just play from down here. Can you put my little kitty cat? Just for. That's the wrong way.
Wrong way. So, ooh, kitty cat. All right. All right. So, yeah, meow. All right. So, you start to come to. The first thing you realize is this isn't where you lost consciousness at. The second thing you realize is that you're talking in a voice unfamiliar to you, and it sounds like the same.
Not the way I was.
Yeah, it sounds like the same sounds that your master made.
I don't like this.
Very foreign to you. You're standing in front of something that you've seen from afar as a cage door that they've kept other people that you now kind of maybe understand as slaves that maybe possibly your master was meant to be inside this cage, because they kind of take people in, they bring people out, people go missing, new people come in. So you see this one person in your vision kind of like moving around. They don't look like they're conscious, and you see another person partially nude sitting there, laying there.
All right, so
and you're more aware. You're more aware that you're like beforehand. It was string and catnip and tuna fish. Now it's more like steak and beer and things that you.
when is Oktoberfest?
Yeah,
That's strange.
yeah. You don't understand these things, but you at the same time they seem familiar to you.
Yeah, like it's everything
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, like it was always there, but now it's just you found the connecting vibe to it all, and it's.
How clearly do I remember the save them?
You remember everything up to the save them. You remember seeing. Actually, you do recognize this guy that stabbed the other guy through the throat, though you still don't really understand what happened. Other than this guy whispered or mumbled something, another guy took maybe offense to it. He mumbled something again. The dude swung at him. The dude stuck a dagger through his throat, and then now this guy, which was clothed before, is now naked, or partially naked. And there's another one that you've seen only a few times back here, and he seems to be just like tossing around violently, like you don't understand really what's going on with that.
Do I feel any magical tingling in my little cat body?
Yes, you do feel, like I said, you feel more aware. You feel more in tune with nature, I guess, as far as what you understand. Like beforehand, you only knew spiders for being 8-legged monstrosities. Now you understand spiders as being beings of this planet. You hunted mice for food. Now you understand mice have their own niche in nature, and they're there for a reason, and things just make more sense to you.
So I kind of, having this newfound sense of self, I can hear the whisperings of the spirits of nature around me.
Yes.
And I remember my owner talking about this. I just kind of snap my finger. Well, I don't have fingers. I kind
Click
of,
your claws.
I click my claws together, and I create just a tiny little globe of light that just kind of floats down and disappears, just to experience it.
Yes, you've seen your master do this quite a few times. You've seen your master turn into strange beasts before you've never seen. And you do it, and you do so easily, almost as if like you were your master, or you've learned things that your masters did without you knowing.
Okay. So I heard my master's voice, and it said to save them. I cannot think that he meant one of these mean heads. So I move forward, and I go and I check on this one over here.
Okay, so your globe, they just kind of appeared and faded
Winked
away?
out. It's very
Okay.
quick.
All right. So as you come in, you do feel your attunement with life itself kind of fades away a little bit. You still are aware, but beforehand, like if the hairs are up on your back, now they just kind of lay down, like you're at ease, almost like you were back to being
I feel the
yourself.
language harder to come by,
Yeah.
but I still remember
You
to
still
save them.
yeah. You still remember everything. You still feel really awkward that you can now talk in the language of your master. This guy's kind of like just flailing around, just
Very dexterously, because I am a cat, I jump on his chest and I attempt to
humble.
kind of paw him in the face to see if I can rouse him.
All right. So your name was
Maybe.
all right. So your
His name
character
is Matt.
Matt. All right.
I would not know that.
Yeah. All right. So you are in the midst of this giant dark shadow. You see yourself, or it's the opposite of yourself, standing there, kind of grinning at you and chuckling. You feel terror. You feel fear. You feel everything that is not you take over your body, and then you start feeling like pricks, like in your cheek. And
It's a very light prick.
very very light pricks, but they're pricks.
Have you ever had a cat before?
Yeah.
It's like when they want to get some food or something and they knead on you.
Yeah. So it's just there for playfulness. So you see, though, everything in front of you is as worrisome as it is starts to fade away, and your vision starts to wake up with a cat
You,
standing on your chest, and all of a sudden the cat speaks.
what are you doing on the ground?
No idea.
You should get out. This is very dangerous. By the way, you're the very first person I've ever told this. My name is Faustlinger, but you may call me Mittens.
Get up.
Do you like being in this room?
I'm in a room.
Well, you're in the same room that you've always been in.
Yeah, last thing you knew, you was outside the
You
room.
have never been anywhere else.
How did the cat get in the room?
You asked the cat.
Just the door's open, correct?
It's just cage bars.
Oh, so just scroll through.
you just woke
So
through
it's
it.
not open.
I think
Yeah.
I might be able to help you escape this room if that is what you desire.
That is what I desire.
Okay, so I jump off of his chest and I walk outside of the bars. Do I see anybody? I will do a quick perception check.
What about the really thing?
I rolled very high. Perception. 20.
How far does your dark vision go?
60 feet. So about 12 of these squares.
All right, so there's like a little, I guess, eye hole or eye slit in this door in front of you. There's a little dim light coming out of it. You can see movements of shadow every once in a while. I guess your hearing, being a cat, would be pretty acute
It's
too.
not bad.
So you can hear rustling down this way. It sounds like the same type of rustling that you've heard, like if you hear like one of these big hairy beasts that now kind of in the back of your mind you're starting to think of as like the name Qui-Goth, or you're starting to understand when they were
My
being
master
mentioned before.
showed me many books.
Yes. And then you kind of hear, if I didn't bring it up before, there is a waterfall that's here next to this facility. Yeah, so you do hear a lot of falling water, and possibly every once in a while skittering of something moving across the web, but you don't really see anybody. You just hear things and kind of know that there's things in those certain directions.
So I want to try and open this door for him. So I will take my snap. So I remember these words that my master said, and I kind of mutter them under my breath, and my claws suddenly get slightly longer, and then also dripping a green liquid. And I kind of stick it in between the wall and the door to attempt to cut it with my acid claws from primal savagery.
Okay.
All right.
Consider it as a spell, though.
I'm outside of this door, though.
But, well, I guess you
I'm
wouldn't
close
know.
to the room.
The-
So I try to do that and nothing happens.
Yes, you do it. The claw. You see. You go through everything, and as you get kind of close to the door, everything kind of just fades back to
So I look at this guy who's still sitting back in the cave. Psst, come closer. I don't want to rouse anyone. Do you come closer?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So as you come closer, the other individual inside the cave that got thrown in there earlier, and that you know kind of as visually as the guy that possibly killed another one out of whatever reasoning, he kind of starts standing up, and he's like, "Oh."
Okay, so before he stands up,
Okay.
quickly, take your manacles and loops that around his neck and hold him for me if you could.
Okay, so I take my
Yeah.
ankles and
Yeah, he's not totally aware of what's going on. So as soon as you come up behind him and put your manacles, which is about a good foot worth of chain, you put it around his neck. He's like,
So I'm guessing there's like crossbars like halfway up this thing.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
jump onto that, and some.
Well, actually, it's like a cave. It's like a cave entrance.
Just straight bars?
Yeah, straight bars.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
never mind. So I'm
Yeah.
down on the ground still.
Yeah.
And so Meanie Head, you in there? Does he notice me?
He kind of looks at you and he like shakes his head like he doesn't really understand what
Okay.
you're saying.
My friend, I'm going to need you to mime this to him. We need to get out of this cell. My magic does not work here. So I need you to ask him how we can do this. You have to mime it though, because he does not understand our language.
I haven't run away.
So you would just like point to the door and like I don't know, do like jingles the door.
And like he's like, okay, does it do anything? Do we notice anything?
He kind of. Are you still? I mean, are you doing that as you
Yeah.
still have him strangled?
Well, I mean, can't you do both?
Yeah. I mean, you can kind of like.
You bang his head against the door, like, open this, you stupid mini.
So do you? How do you tell him to open the door? Like he
At this
sees this
point-
cat walk up. Next thing he knows,
So you've
he's
got
waking.
him like this.
He's waking up. You're
Around his
strangling
neck.
At
him.
this point, if the chain's at least a foot
It's
long,
about a foot. Yeah.
I have it with one hand and I point to the door with my other
Well, it's
hand.
attached to both your arms.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah, so he like
Yeah.
shifts it around
Yeah,
this way. So
yeah.
one hand's on the back and
Yeah.
one hand's
Okay,
up right here.
yeah. Okay, so I point to the lock on the door, lock on the...
and then he's like, he's trying to look back at you, but he can't really.
He does not
because-
need to look at
yeah.
you, don't worry.
So he looks down at the cat, and he just kind of like doesn't know what to do, and he's like checking himself, and he notices he's naked, and he just starts freaking out, like he's like trying to reach back.
Okay,
and,
so either kill him or let him go. It is your choice. I do not care.
you never met this
They
guy.
don't speak common.
The drow don't. It's just
Yeah, the Drow don't. They just speak undercommon.
They're a bunch of douchebags.
Yeah,
They don't buy things on the top side. So
Can,
not the common.
I didn't
Okay,
know
so
anyone
I
that
guess I'll
speak common.
guess I'll tell
Mittens.
Mittens that one of the guys that were unconscious up there had a set of keys on him.
My friend, I don't see anyone unconscious up here.
You kind of can start to tell that maybe you were dreaming. Like you remember, falling unconscious. I mean, it's very vivid for you though.
I skip over. Go there.
All right.
Well,
It was-
it might take again.
it was very vivid for you though. So I mean, what happened you don't know, but it was a very vivid dream.
You're
So-
doing a good job. It's fine.
Yeah, you're doing fine. All right, so we'll cut away from y'all and go to